Watching ABC 7 Bangor.
From the Great Northwoods to the Rock Mountain Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, one department of the branch of Northern Light Hospitals announced yesterday plans to unionize.
Plus, a road that was recently washed out and was closed has been reopened thanks to speedy repairs.
And a Down East high school that has been closed to students due to structural issues was finally able to reopen this week.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. I'm going to start things off with a check of the forecast. A much different story this morning than it has been the last couple of days.
I know the sun's coming out and it's a warm one. So let's throw it over to Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1 Rockland Thomas and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. Alrighty, here we are. We do have swell crowd advisories in effect, and this will last until Friday at 11 a.m. No gusty winds will continue to be an issue today and in parts of tonight. Before tomorrow, things finally begin to calm down, and things will begin to get a little on the nicer side. We did have some rain moving through yesterday, though. Here's the last little bit of that, and then last night things began to calm down. And today things will continue to calm down too as the sky clears out, but temperatures, that's the big story. Temperatures will be falling throughout the day as this cold front moves in from the southwest to the north and east. Our high temperatures hit during the late morning, early afternoon period and falling throughout the rest of the afternoon. So, of course, all that in mind, though, we'll be under a partly cloudy sky overall as the sun comes out during the afternoon. We'll be mostly clear tonight as temperatures fall into the 30s. Otherwise, though, here's that wind right there out of the northwest today at around 15 miles per hour with some gusts even up to 30 miles per hour with that gusty northwest wind to help to push some cooler air in our direction. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning period showing temperatures in the 60s, then falling through the afternoon as the clouds get out of here. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, in today's news, a man faces several charges after a standoff with police in Van Buren. Maine State Police spokesperson Shannon Moss says just before 9:30 Tuesday morning, Maine police got a call from a woman saying her husband was allegedly being assaulted in an unprovoked attack at 154 Castonguay Road in Van Buren. The woman and her husband were able to leave the area and get to safety. Moss says when law enforcement arrived, they found 35-year-old Corey Vick inside the residence. Vick allegedly said he had a firearm and would kill any officers if they entered his home. The state police tactical team was called in along with the crisis intervention team and attempted to contact him by phone. Moss says they worked throughout the night to de-escalate the situation without success. Then at approximately 6:30 yesterday morning, the tactical team entered the home and took him into custody. Vick was taken to the hospital for treatment of minor injuries before being taken to the Aroostook County Jail. He's now charged with assault, criminal threatening, reckless conduct with a dangerous weapon, criminal mischief, and also creating a police standoff.
Some good news this morning for Glenburn residents. The Maine DOT has finished the work on the Pushaw Road, and it is now open to traffic. On October 15th, heavy rain triggered a flood of water that eventually compromised the roadway. Since then, it has been a race to get the culvert replaced and the road back open. Yesterday, the finishing touches were completed to make the road safe for travel, and the road officially opened at 3 p.m.
Governor Janet Mills paid a visit to a Dexter-based organization that is keeping Mainers warm as temperatures drop. Window Dressers is a volunteer-run nonprofit that creates low-cost insulating window inserts. Their goal is to keep their customers warm while also lowering their heating costs. Governor Mills says she's not just a proud supporter of the organization, but also a proud customer.
This is all volunteer, and it's bound to bring down your costs, lower your dependency on oil or other fossil fuels for home heat, and to keep you safe in the winter.
More information about ordering inserts or volunteering for Window Dressers, you can visit windowdressers.org.
Sumner Memorial High School has finally opened its doors for in-person learning after several months of delay. RSU 24 received a temporary certificate of occupancy after the fire marshal approved plans of installing a school sprinkler system. Up until last week, students at RSU 24 were learning remotely through Zoom. Sumner Memorial High School principal J.T. Green says that everyone is glad to be back in person.
This is just an amazing feeling, just to be able to see the kids return from, fortunately, the short stint of remote learning that we endured at the beginning of the school year. It's been great to see them back and to see them in class learning in person.
The construction of the new school began in August of 2016 and took more than 6 years to complete.
The soaring cost of childcare has been a major barrier for young parents who are trying to return to work after the pandemic. Now the state is providing millions of dollars in new investment to try to fix the problem. Mal Meyer was in Waterville and has a closer look at what that money will do.
Providers say that previous investments have helped, but they know more families need childcare and at an affordable price. The $5.5 million announced by the Mills administration will come from the American Rescue Plan Act. The money will be used for 4 key areas.
We're going to try to incentivize child care providers to provide infant care. We're going to try to incentivize organizations interested in child care to set up a new child care center.
Maine DHHS also wants more providers to be trained in identifying mental health challenges in children.
So we have incentives for all of the above.
Plus, providers will be incentivized to serve lower-income families by awarding them $500 for each new child served through the Child Care Subsidy Program. This helps eligible families pay for child care so parents can go to school, job training, or work.
That's huge. That's a game changer. It's a game changer for families and for providers.
It helps lower the cost for families, in some cases by up to $180 per week. At the Boys and Girls Club and YMCA of Greater Waterville, they've had more families join the program since eligibility rules were last changed.
We actually have a designated staff position just for that purpose, to get families on the Child Care Subsidy Program.
This has had a ripple effect, allowing them to serve more people in the community.
The more money we recoup from the state, the more we're able to offer help to families that, don't qualify for those kinds of programs.
The Maine State Police has released a statement that warns of scam calls that use a particular request. In these reported calls, the caller claims to be raising money for the Maine State Troopers Association. They have asked if you receive one of these calls to hang up. The Maine State Troopers Association represents the Troopers Union and does not solicit for money. They do, however, conduct fundraisers for charity, not, however, using phone calls.
Nurses have announced plans to unionize at Bangor's Northern Light Acadia Hospital. The AFL-CIO says of 111 staff nurses and advanced practice nurses have filed with the American Federation of Teachers to gain a stronger voice in order to address safe staffing, patient safety, and other workplace issues. The National Labor Relations Board will be scheduling an election for the nurses in the coming weeks, where they will have a chance to decide if they will officially unionize. Northern Light Acadia Hospital told us they have been notified that American Federation of Teachers Union did give them material on October 21st, and they would prefer a direct relationship with their employees and care teams. They do plan to follow the appropriate process for an election. Well, the time now is 6:08. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, a local school is troubleshooting the issue of PFAS contamination in their water. This and more as we return.
But first, let's take another look at our forecast. Partly cloudy in the sky today, highs of around 65 degrees. Finally, a reprieve from all of that rain, and a chillier one tonight, dropping down to about 34 degrees tonight, breezy and clear. Tomorrow, though, beautiful, mostly sunny, high of around 53 degrees.
Finelli Pizzeria in Ellsworth, now under new ownership, has been using fresh ingredients and ideas on top of our award-winning pizza doughs and sauces for more than 20 years. Come try our famous New York-style pizza. We're sure you'll agree. It's the best pizza you've ever tasted.
As a medical group commander in the United States Air Force and a surgeon, I never asked my patients about their politics. It's the same in Augusta. If someone has a good idea, it doesn't matter what party they're from. That's how I passed bipartisan bills. to cut down on government paperwork to make it easier for the uninsured to access health care. Remove barriers to allow small businesses to provide health insurance, and help Mainers who might be at risk of an accidental drug overdose. I'm Dr. Richard Evans, and I ask for your vote.
Old Dominion, reigning CMA and ACM Vocal Group of the Year. No Bad Vibes Tour. Saturday, April 15th, Cross Insurance Center. Featuring Whiskey Jam favorites Frank Ray, Cassie Ashton, and Graylin James. Tickets on sale this Friday at Ticketmaster.com. Old Dominion, live in concert. Brought to you by Messina Touring Group.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Thousands of acres of Maine forest land will be preserved thanks to a special purchase. The Frenchman Bay Conservancy announced it has secured easements on more than 3,000 acres in the Aurora area. A portion of that is in the Union River headwaters and will remain forever wild. According to the Ellsworth American, there are no plans to create trails in the area, but the public will still be able to use it for hunting and fishing. Officials say the purchase is the result of a lot of work by several organizations and landowners who saw the need to conserve their lands as wild. The two easements include an area known as the Whale's Back and will be protected forever.
Well, new tests also found forever chemicals in a mid-coast Maine watershed. And as Brad Rogers found, there's new concern those chemicals may now be contaminating fish as well.
The comprehensive report released by Friends of Merrymeeting Bay provide direct first-time evidence of continued PFAS leakage from the former Brunswick Naval Air Station reaching the watershed.
Well, the question was, in my mind, what's making it to the river?
Ed Friedman and others sampled 30 sites on the Androscoggin and Kennebec rivers and several creeks that lead to Merrymeeting Bay. He says the testing found 19 different PFAS toxins in the water. The question is, are fish caught in these contaminated waters safe to eat?
PFAS is sort of the new kid on the block, but we've had advisories out for mercury here statewide for many, many years.
Of the 30 sites tested, the highest levels were found in 3 creeks that drain from the Brunswick Naval Air Station into the Androscoggin River. The highest level was 922 parts per trillion, well above what the EPA considers a safe level. In fact, recent tests on the former airbase found 2 types of PFAS used in firefighting foams.
When you have an obvious point source like the Brunswick Naval Air Station, and the firefighting foam is probably leaking out still, then you really need to address, when you know where it is, you need to address the problem, and you need to address it quickly and effectively.
Testing also found high levels of PFAS in the Androscoggin River, where the Brunswick Sewer District releases treated water.
We're not required to treat for PFAS. We don't even know what that level would be at this point.
Rob Ponteau with the Brunswick Sewer District says he's not surprised by the results. He and Friedman say it's now up to the state to do their own testing and come up with an advisory on eating fish caught in these waters.
It's certainly concerning. There's no doubt. Until we know more about the appropriate levels that you can eat in fish and so forth. I mean, I'm an avid hunter, so last year when the state closed down the area around the Fairfield area, that certainly concerned me and most of my staff.
The state of Maine is requiring all schools to test their water supply for harmful chemicals and to make immediate changes if they are found. Devin Dagnall spoke to officials at one of the schools now grappling with this issue.
Large amounts of PFAS were found in the Coralville Middle School water supply, and officials are taken aback to say the least.
I think our main concern is that we don't know anything about it.
PFAS are chemical compounds from everyday objects that have contaminated many water sources, not just in the state, but all over the country. According to experts, long-term exposure to PFAS can cause a lot of health complications, many of them serious. According to new Maine state guidelines, all schools must test their water supplies for PFAS contamination and submit their results by December 31st, 2022. After learning of the contamination, RSU 87 acted quickly.
We immediately brought in some water bubblers, so we're supplying drinking water through that. We brought in another water source for our kitchen to cook with. They say we're fine for cleaning and washing hands. So we've taken care of that initially while we try to figure out how to resolve the situation.
Mark Turner, the superintendent of RSU 87, says that the school is still not sure what the plan is for a permanent solution. Turner says the district plans on either working with the state through a grant program or just working directly with local companies to update their filtration system. In the meantime, the school staff is working hard to keep community members and students safe and informed.
We communicated it to the community, to the staff, and to the students. They're middle school students and can definitely handle the information. We put signs up at all of our water sources and worked with all the water fountains to make sure they're not functional.
Coralville Middle School principal Nicole Middleswart says students don't seem to be overly anxious about the situation, and the staff says they seem to be rolling with it.
A couple of kids ask questions, and we answer it with the same information that we gave the community, and the kids are good with it and go about their day.
In Carmel, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22.
Sounds like they're all over it over there.
I know.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, though.
Yep. Well, the time is now 6:15. After the break, we'll check out a video sent in to us by a viewer who's concerned for the livelihoods of Maine lobstermen and women.
Plus, Bar Harbor is working to send out arsenic tests to the community. We'll have the details when Good Morning Maine continues.
Renovating or building new, you'll find a wide selection of high-performing, energy-efficient, and beautiful windows and doors at Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales representative will walk you through the showroom displays and help you choose options to create a personalized custom look. Free in-home measurement is available, and Hammond can deliver your order from any of their locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company.
You'll find something for everyone at Maine's #1 Kia dealer, Van Sickle Kia. Looking for an excellent all-wheel drive SUV? Kia has you covered with the all-new all-wheel drive 2023 Kia Sportage. Or check out the 2023 Kia Forte with a list of standard Kia driver assist features, including auto emergency braking and up to 41 mpg highway. With 15 models to choose from, Kia has you covered. And you'll get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
I'm Jay Pearl from Carroll Harper & Associates, Maine's most experienced Medicare health plans agency. Every day we hear how complicated navigating the Medicare maze can be. Let us help. From enrolling in Medicare to finding the right Medicare health plan, we are your go-to agency. We represent Martins Point Generations Advantage and other Medicare health plans that meet our quality standards. There's no cost or obligation for our services, so call Carroll Harper & Associates today.
Students in Bar Harbor are helping local officials detect an invisible threat. Matthew Juronsik has more on the story.
The town of Bar Harbor is teaming up with MDI Biological Laboratory in the Connors Emerson School and advising members of the community to test their wells.
We do a project called All About Arsenic, and we work closely with MDI Biolab, where students actually take kits home, test their well water, and the data then comes back to us.
Students would then come back with the information, create trifolds educating the public about the dangers of arsenic in well water. In its second year, Hannah has high expectations for the program.
So the goal this year is to get 100 test kits in the town of Bar Harbor. Last year we had about 35, 36 kits. And again, the kids being more a part of handing out those kits and becoming more aware and talking to townspeople.
The program comes after elevated arsenic levels were detected in more than a tenth of the wells sampled so far.
Arsenic is a huge concern for human health worldwide, and there's this federal MCL limit of arsenic of 10 micrograms per liter that's enforced across Maine.
The kids say it's being able to interact with the community on an important problem that appeals to them the most.
Well, it's kind of fun because we get to do a little experiments and we get to make posters and trifolds and stuff to help people know if they have arsenic in their wells.
It really means a lot that we get this opportunity with our young minds to help our community and share how important it is to test your well water for arsenic.
Matthew Juronsik, ABC7 and Fox 22.
Well, Maine lobstermen and their families will gather in Stoning today to have their photos taken as part of a special project. Award-winning photographer Cheryl Clegg has been doing a special series of portraits to raise awareness about the ongoing battle between lobstermen and new regulations that threaten the industry.
This will be followed by a big rally on Sunday that's expected to attract fishing families from all along the coast. They say regulations imposed to protect right whales are too strict and will end up hurting all the industries that depend on lobster to make a living. That includes members of a lobsterman's family in Stonington who created this special video. Melissa and Rosalie Bailey wanted to show some of the lives that could be impacted. Well, that, of course, is just a sample of the video. The video is about 5.5 minutes long and includes families from Stonington and Deer Isle. It's quite moving. It kind of gave me chills watching it all because you're seeing the different generations. Some of the pictures are from past family members, but you're seeing these youngsters out there learning how to lobster, and they're wondering if they'll even be able to do it.
Generally, lobstermen, anybody who hauls traps, they know it. Usually you start really young.
Yeah.
So.
You can see that whole video on YouTube if you want to. We'll try to get a link on our Facebook page, too, so if you want to check it out. It's kind of interesting.
I can show you how to do that.
Please. I have to ask them. I don't know how to do any of that stuff.
Hey, it's all new. It's all new. I just learned a couple months ago.
Good.
Well, the time is now 6:21. Let's get a full look at our forecast.
Here's meteorologist.
All righty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1 Rockland Thomason Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. Alrighty, here we are. Small craft advisories. That's a big story this morning, lasting until 11 a.m. on Friday, though, as gusty winds today and tonight will be an issue for some of the smaller craft along the shoreline. But of course, we did have some rain moving through recently, though, and has now gotten out of here. And the clouds will be breaking up throughout the rest of the day, giving way to sunshine. But once the clouds break up, temperatures will also fall. We'll make our high temperature in the mid-60s by about late morning, and then temperatures will fall during the afternoon period. And we have this cold front to thank for that, though, and that'll help to usher in some cooler air in our direction just in time for tomorrow. But some nicer days will also be on the way. But gusty winds, that'll be the big story. We'll be out of the northwest today, reaching around 30 miles per hour at times. These are the peak wind gusts possible throughout the day. But look what happens. They'll gradually start to back off to around 20 miles per hour overnight tonight. Then a lot calmer as we head towards tomorrow morning. And the wave heights are definitely up at around 3 to 10 feet according to some of the buoys out there, though. That right there is why we do have small craft advisories along the coast until Friday morning. Our average high is 54 degrees. We'll reach for the middle 60s today, then falling to the lower 50s Friday. But warming back up into the upper 50s for Saturday. The lower 60s make a return Sunday. Then we're kind of up and down between the 50s and 60s for the next several days. So overall, temperature's pretty nice for this time of the year, especially when they're above that average high of 54 degrees. So moving forward, though, decreasing clouds today, giving way to a lot of sunshine during the afternoon with falling temperatures as well. Will be mostly clear later on tonight. Then by tomorrow, though, a nice way to start things off with a lot of sunshine for your Friday. Maybe a few passing clouds from time to time, but a few dry days on the way for the next few days at least. So your forecast for today, middle 60s, decreasing clouds and falling temperatures as well. High temperatures hit by around midday in the mid-60s and falling with the northwest wind getting up to around 30 miles per hour. Later on tonight, mostly clear, still breezy out there, lows in the middle 30s, the northwest wind gusting up to around 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, a lot better, lower 50s, so a little bit cooler, mostly sunny, northwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your Shepherd Toyota extended forecast. Now, Halloween themed as well. We're pretty nice for the next several days, so talk about a treat, right? With a lot of sunshine Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s. However, on Halloween, that's when the trick kicks in. Rain chances on the way, temperatures in the upper 50s.
All right, Devin, I like the little dancing
They're
mummies
groovy,
there.
yeah.
Nice graphics there.
Still much more to come as Good Morning Maine continues.
I was a public health nurse for 29 years. I went into the homes of my neighbors, including many seniors, and cared for them. Then Paul LePage became governor, and everything changed. He kicked seniors off Maine's low-cost prescription drug plan. He cut a Social Security program when it was needed most, and even opposed Meals on Wheels funding. How cruel is that? We can't go back to Paul LePage.
The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
At Home Kitchen, Bath, and Flooring in Dover Foxcroft are proud members of the Flooring Network here in Maine. We have our flooring installers on staff ready for you and your custom flooring project. With over 50 years of combined experience, we'll work with you from start to finish, including demo and cleanup. Backed by the Flooring Network's state-of-the-art warehouses, we have a massive inventory to provide you with the best value and fit any flooring budget you may have. So stop in, meet our flooring experts, and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
I served our country during the Gulf War. We were fighting for freedom in the Middle East. But in Washington, Bruce Poliquin would take away freedoms Mainers have earned. He voted for a nationwide abortion ban and said he supported changing the Constitution. Poliquin would allow politicians to stand between women and their doctors, even in cases of rape and incest. We didn't fight for our freedoms for politicians like Bruce Poliquin to take them away.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Jared Golden. Seeing some Washington politicians try and enrich themselves makes you think of this. That's why I'm working to clean up Congress by banning members from using insider information to trade individual stocks, and why I'm leading the way to stop taxpayer-funded pay raises for Congress. And I'm not taking any PAC money from big corporations that already have too much influence in Washington. I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message to clean up Congress.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine, and now for your national news. Now to turn to the war in Ukraine and that stark warning from President Biden telling Vladimir Putin that using a tactical nuclear weapon would be an incredibly serious mistake. Russia and Ukraine have been trading accusations, raising new fears as the conflict enters a dangerous new phase. On Wednesday, Russia held annual nuclear drills with President Putin watching from Moscow. U.S. officials say there's no indication Russia is imminently planning to use nuclear weapons, but there is concern it could set off a dirty bomb and blame Ukraine. That would give them an excuse to ramp up its attacks. President Biden sent a STEM warning saying Russia would be making an incredibly serious mistake if it were to use a tactical nuclear weapon.
Well, abortion is one of the main issues in the midterms, but some prominent lawmakers say focusing on the issue isn't a winning strategy for Democrats. Fox's Madeline Rivera explains as one Supreme Court justice sounds off on the unprecedented draft opinion leak overruling Roe v. Wade.
Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito did not hold back when addressing his leaked draft opinion to overturn Roe v. Wade.
It was a grave betrayal of trust by somebody. And it was a shock because nothing like that had happened in the past.
But the leak was more than just a breach of trust, says Alito, adding it also put justices' lives at risk.
It gave people a rational reason to think they could prevent that from happening by killing one of us.
In June, a California man was arrested and charged with attempting to murder Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Police say the man was upset with a leaked draft opinion. Democrats who are campaigning to restore abortion rights nationwide are hoping the issue gives them a boost in the midterms. They did see a bounce in the polls after the Supreme Court reversed Roe v. Wade. Now that bump is fading.
Abortion as a topic has went down in the polls compared to the issues of the economy, inflation, even immigration and crime, some of those things that Republicans have focused on.
It's a potential warning sign for Democrats with less than 2 weeks to go before the midterms.
If you sort of overemphasize the social issues at the expense of the fiscal ones, that you could come across as a bit fringe.
With the economy the main concern for voters, President Biden says his administration will crack down on hidden and overdraft fees to help Americans struggling with inflation. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Ford takes a huge quarterly profit loss and drops its self-driving initiative. Ford posted a net loss of $827 million and also took a $2.7 billion hit on its investment with Argo Artificial Intelligence. Argo was the artificial intelligence system that Ford shared in partnership with Volkswagen to develop self-driving vehicles in cities like Miami and Austin, Texas. Both companies held a 39% stake in Argo. Argo will not continue its self-driving mission, and both Ford and Volkswagen will hire personnel from Argo.
What do you think about self-driving cars?
I have a car from 2006.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Maybe in 40 years would I trust a self-driving car.
Would we know it's going to work and no problems?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Right. Well, when we return, we'll check out the sportsmanship during the Special Olympics in Bangor yesterday.
Plus, a local hospital has a new art installation. That and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
That smile, Matthew Perry. Now he's ready to tell the story behind that smile.
Secrets kill people like me.
You said there were 6 friends, and one of them was sick.
Yeah.
Friday night at 8/7 Central on ABC.
Senator Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective. Joe has always been a champion for Maine seniors. Joe Baldacci sponsored and passed the legislation that generated more than $90 million to nursing homes in Bangor and across the state that have been hit hard by the pandemic. Joe Baldacci delivered on funding to protect health care and important services for thousands of Maine seniors. Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective, delivering results for Bangor and Herman.
Get ready for Return of Fright. After 2 years of resting peacefully, Fright at the Fort, Return of Fright is back. October 15th, the 21st and 22nd, and October 28th and 29th. You'll encounter aliens, monsters, zombies, and all things creepy lurking the corners and dark passageways of the Fort Knox Historic Site and Prospect. Tickets are $15 for all ages. No at-the-door ticket sales available. All tickets are sold online through Eventbrite. Purchase yours online at fortknoxmaine.com.
I think they like each other.
I'm Charles. Lunch?
Vanessa, I like lunch.
Bacon. Get 2 Bacon McDouble burgers for $3.99. Or get one with a McChicken for only $3.99.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, today is Thursday, October 27th, 2022. There are 65 days left in the year. On this day in history, in 1878, I don't think it's 1878, I think it's actually 1978, Egyptian President Anwar Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin were named the winners of the Nobel Peace Prize for their progress toward achieving a Middle East peace accord. That was huge at the time.
In 1914, the first rapid transit subway system was inaugurated in New York City.
And in 2004, the Boston Red Sox won their first World Series since 1918, ending the curse of the Bambino. You probably heard about that.
Yes. Yep. And today's birthdays include country singer Lee Greenwood, who is 80, author Fran Lebowitz is 72, and actor-comedian John Cleese is 83.
I was so happy that you knew who that was when I asked you earlier.
Only by hearing the name.
Hearing the name, yeah.
Yes.
Monty Python was huge.
Right.
You know, I'm showing my age here with every one of these things I write.
Oh, I thought you meant Fran. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
John
no, Fran.
Cleese. Oh,
yeah, John Cleese.
Yeah, I grew up, I mean, we had Ben from Penobscot Theater on the show, and he came in with Julie, who I think owns, or she's a prominent director for $10 Theater, and they would do a lot of Monty Python when I was growing up.
Oh, very cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I got to see theater of Monty Python growing up, so that was always really fun.
So funny stuff.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Anyway, let's talk about the weather now. It looks like a much nicer stretch coming up here the next few days.
It's going to be probably the last burst of very warm weather that we'll have this year. So if you can get out there, definitely enjoy it.
Here's Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1 Rockland Thomason Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. Alrighty, here we are. We do have swell crowd advisories in effect, and this will last until Friday at 11 a.m. No gusty winds will continue to be an issue today and in parts of tonight. Before tomorrow, things finally begin to calm down, and things will begin to get a little on the nicer side. We did have some rain moving through yesterday, though. Here's the last little bit of that, and then last night things began to calm down. And today things will continue to calm down too as the sky clears out, but temperatures, that's the big story. Temperatures will be falling throughout the day as this cold front moves in from the southwest to the north and east. Our high temperatures hit during the late morning, early afternoon period and falling throughout the rest of the afternoon. So, of course, all that in mind, though, we'll be under a partly cloudy sky overall as the sun comes out during the afternoon. We'll be mostly clear tonight as temperatures fall into the 30s. Otherwise, though, here's that wind right there out of the northwest today at around 15 miles per hour with some gusts even up to 30 miles per hour with that gusty northwest wind to help to push some cooler air in our direction. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning period showing temperatures in the 60s, then falling through the afternoon as the clouds get out of here. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, there were a lot of smiles at the Family Fun Bowling Center in Bangor yesterday. Special Olympians are competing in the 2022 Area Bowling Games.
It was their turn to shine as various groups of students and adults put all their hard work and practice to the test.
This is my first year doing it.
Competing and having much fun. With my friends.
Have you seen the smiles running around and everybody's just cheering and yelling, and I'm losing my voice already?
More adults will be back at the Family Fun Center to continue the area bowling games tomorrow.
Well, those who visit St. Joseph Hospital will notice the vibrant new art along the walls. The hospital is displaying the work of local artists as part of a new idea to make the space part hospital, part art gallery.
These pieces were installed yesterday by artist Jill Hoy from Stonington. She has 27 works of art on the walls where there are many oil paintings of the great art outdoors.
I think there's a trend in hospitals to go for the healing arts and how nourishing art is, and I think people don't think of it being so.
Many of these paintings depict the Maine coast. Jill wanted to represent a broad section of Maine, but says since she lives in a lobstering community and with their issues with NOAA, that she wanted to highlight the lobstermen to some extent.
Very neat. Well, coming up on Good Morning Maine, Tyler Cruz will be in with all the latest sports news.
We'll be right back.
Do you have leaky pipes? Are you planning a plumbing job? Is your heating system working right? Are you designing a plumbing project? Then contact Harley's Plumbing and Heating Plus.
If your toilet will not flush, Harley will be there in a rush. Furnace bit the dust today. Harley crew is on the way. Harley Plumbing, Harley Heating.
990-2200. Call now.
Harley!
Call or visit online.
Does your plug-in fade too fast? Try Febreze Fade to Fi Plug. It has built-in technology to digitally control how much scent is released to smell first day fresh for 50 days. La 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 la.
Better skin from your body wash? Try Olay Body Wash with skincare super ingredient collagen. Olay Body Wash hydrates for healthier looking skin in just 14 days. From dry and dull to firm and radiant. With Olay Body, I feel fearless in my skin.
Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Maine football has a huge matchup against 17th-ranked Richmond this weekend, but they're not the only football team up in Orono preparing for a big game on Saturday.
The Orono Red Riots are getting ready for the 8-man small semifinals Saturday after a huge quarterfinal win this past Friday. Orono took a 51-46 victory at Bucksport in really a hard-fought back-and-forth matchup with the Bucks, avenging that regular season loss to them with a win when it mattered most. And leading the way for Orono in that one, Jack Brewer and Will Francis. Francis, the wide receiver, Brewer, the quarterback, connected with Francis for 7 touchdowns on the night, and Francis had over 200 receiving yards. Both players say this came simply from them relying on each other.
It's great. You know, he was open a lot, and I hit him a lot. So I think it's the trust, right? The trust with him, and I just know he's going to be there where I throw it.
He just puts the ball in the right places always. Just perfect spirals, always in the right place where the defense can't get it.
The Riots are traveling to Dexter this Saturday to take on the reigning state champs and the currently undefeated Tigers. Now, these two also met in the regular season, with Orono holding a lead late in the game, but the Tigers mounted a big comeback to take a 38-34 victory. The Riots believe they can right the ship, though, if they can keep it balanced.
They got a couple guys that can really kill other teams, as we've seen in other games that they've had. So we really just got to contain them, get stops, and our offense will just come.
We're going to play tighter as a team, and we're going to perform better offensively, and I think that'll be ours.
All right, looking forward to see that matchup on Saturday. Tons of fun high school action on Saturday. Let's stay with high school sports now, though. Soccer and field hockey quarterfinals continuing throughout the state. Semifinals next before the regional champs are crowned next week. Let's start with some field hockey down at Thomas College. Quarterfinal matchup in Class B. Herman taking on Nokomis. It's 1-0 Nokomis in the first. Here's Madeline Rundy knifing her way through to push it past into the goal. That makes it 2-0 Warriors. Second quarter now. Guess who? Rundy again, this time on the penalty corner. She gets the feed from Brianna Townsend and sends it past the goalie. That makes it 3-0 Nokomis. Despite the score, though, Herman fighting hard. They had some nice plays here, too. Here's Roundy looking for the hat trick, but Abby Gray gets in the way for a nice takeaway, keeps it 3-0. 6 minutes left in the second now. Townsend to Rundy to Mia Sehuson on the doorstep. A great bang-bang play there. That makes it 4-0 Warriors. We'll go to the second half. Early third quarter. Nokomis would finish the job. Rundy sends it in, and Ava Lovely with a lovely deflection for the score. Nokomis wins this one 5-0, and they move into the semis. Let's go to boys soccer now. John Baptist and Caribou in a rainy quarterfinal matchup. Baptist here, they have a chance early on. A good ball is going to find Ellis Columber, who fires, but a save made from Logan White right there. We are scoreless. Still scoreless here, and still in the first. Henry Hebert with a breakaway chance for the Vikes. He gets a chance, but Matt Fitzpatrick is there for the stop. Both goalies impressive early on. After some camera malfunctions, I can't imagine why, we whipped out the trusty iPhone, and we caught Jack Mason with an impressive move here to find the net. John Baptist gets wet, but they get the win, 6-1, and they advance to the semis. All right, let's check out some other scores now. In the Class D boys quarterfinal, Bangor Christian over Lee Academy, 4-0. In Class A boys soccer, Brunswick and Brewer, a tight one. Brunswick would score just early in the second half and hold on to that 1-0 lead for the win. In Class C field hockey, Dexter and Central with a close win over Orono, 2-1. And then in Class A field hockey, Skowhegan stays perfect. They win 6-0 over Camden Hills. All right, let's go to some hoops now. Professional basketball is back in Portland, with the Maine Celtics and their season tipping off next week at home against the Westchester Knicks. This week, they are holding their first team practice of the season under new head coach Alex Barlow. Barlow's been an assistant with the organization for the past 3 seasons. The Celtics, who have a seasoned veteran roster led by two-way players J.D. Davidson, who is out, and Fianu Cabangeli, who hails from Burlington, Canada. Fianu is a 6'10 power forward who was a first-round pick back in 2019. He's also the nephew of former NBA great Dikembe Mutombo, who recently underwent treatment for a brain tumor. Fianu says Dikembe is in good spirits, and he has learned quite a bit from his Hall of Fame uncle.
Actually listening to what he says and consistently doing it is kind of why I've been having a little bit of success so far. So he's been teaching me a lot, making sure I get my sleep in, make sure I have a routine. Because once I have that consistency outside of basketball, my basketball will be consistent. So he's been really great.
Certainly an interesting connection down in Portland. That is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
I served our country during the Gulf War. We were fighting for freedom in the Middle East. But in Washington, Bruce Poliquin would take away freedoms Mainers have earned. He voted for a nationwide abortion ban and said he supported changing the Constitution. Poliquin would allow politicians to stand between women and their doctors, even in cases of rape and incest. We didn't fight for our freedoms for politicians like Bruce Poliquin to take them away.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Looking to improve or upgrade your home or place of business with at-home furniture, appliance, and bedding, and kitchen and bath and flooring, we offer a great selection to do just that. From homeowners to commercial businesses and everything in between, our friendly professionals with more than 50 years of combined experience pride themselves in going above and beyond to work with you every step of the way. And we even offer a full-service appliance repair department. Come and visit us at our Dover Foxcroft or our new Lincoln location. Stop in either location today and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
I'm Phil Levesque, president of Levesque Business Solutions. We're a family-owned Maine business since 1963. We're your one-stop shop for great office products at affordable rates. From copiers to office furniture to PPE, we've got it all warehoused right here in Bangor. We're your local small Maine business with a dedicated staff providing honest and friendly customer service, top-of-the-line tech support, and the option of in-house leasing. Let us help you get back to business.
Welcome back, everyone. Plastic pollution is killing the world's oceans. Fox News correspondent Ashley Strohmeyer takes a look at the device aiming to stop trash in its tracks before it ever reaches the sea.
The Worldwide Fund for Nature estimates more than 12 million tons of plastic waste is washed into the oceans every year. And scientists warn the debris could outweigh all of the fish in the sea by 2050. But floating down this polluted California waterway just outside of Los Angeles is a massive solar-powered device called the Trash Interceptor 007.
This is like a last line of defense.
Its mission? To collect trash from streams and rivers like this before it flows into the ocean.
We have these long floating barriers that funnel trash to the front of the interceptor, where we have this massive conveyor belt which then extracts the trash from the water before dumping it into several dumpsters.
But how does trash wind up in rivers, besides being directly thrown into it?
When it rains, the trash washes into gutters, and then from gutters into this river and into the Pacific Ocean.
Going forward, officials from the nonprofit group The Ocean Cleanup say the craft should be used across other major waterways around the world to wipe out pollution.
Rivers truly are the arteries that carry the trash from land to sea. And what we found is that just 1% of the world's rivers emit roughly 80% of all the plastic going to the ocean. So if we put devices like this in the mouth of those top 1% of rivers, we believe we can stop the plastic pollution from reaching the oceans.
The Ocean Cleanup is aiming to remove 90% of floating plastic in the world's oceans by 2040. Ashley Strohmeyer, Fox News.
A global superstar teases new music, Seth Rogen turning an animated film into a TV series, and more. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has the latest from Hollywood Nation.
Jordan, to your right, please. Peel leads Sausage Party gets cooking again, and Rihanna returns to music in the Hollywood Nation. Rihanna is dropping new music for the first time since her 2016 album, Anti. The superstar singer shared a preview of her new song, Lift Me Up, the lead single from the upcoming Black Panther Wakanda Forever soundtrack. She co-wrote it as a tribute to the life and legacy of Chadwick Boseman. It will be released Friday. Now I only soak up wine. Grab a glass and check out Adele's new visuals. The Grammy-winning singer released the music video to her song I Drink Wine from her latest album, 30. It features the singer floating down a lazy river wearing a gold sequin dress while holding a glass of wine.
Get ready, boys!
Seth Rogen's 2016 animated film Sausage Party is getting a spin-off. Rogen is teaming up with Prime Video to develop a new TV series called Sausage Party Foodtopia. He will be joined by some of the original voice cast from the movie, including Kristen Wiig, Will Forte, and Michael Cera. The 8-course television event will be served up in 2024.
What's a bad miracle?
And the nominees for the 2022 People's Choice Awards have been revealed. Jordan Peele's sci-fi thriller Nope dominates the movie category with 6 nominations, including 2 each for stars Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer. On the TV side, the hit family drama This Is Us leads with 6 nods, and Fox's The Masked Singer is also among the competition show nominees. Saturday Night Live star Kenan Thompson returns to host the ceremony, airing December 6th on NBC and E! In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And now we're all up to date on Hollywood stuff.
Good.
Good enough.
Good thing.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the weather. It's going to be a much better day out there today.
It's a nice day out. You can get your shorts out even, maybe.
Maybe not. Here's Devin with the details.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1 Rockland Thomason Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. Alrighty, here we are. Small credit advisories. That's a big story this morning, lasting until 11 a.m. on Friday, though, as gusty winds today and tonight will be an issue for some of the smaller craft along the shoreline. But of course, we did have some rain moving through recently, though, and has now gotten out of here. And the clouds will be breaking up throughout the rest of the day, giving way to sunshine. But once the clouds break up, temperatures will also fall. We'll make our high temperature in the mid-60s by about late morning, and then temperatures will fall during the afternoon period. And we have this cold front to thank for that, though, and that'll help to usher in some cooler air in our direction just in time for tomorrow. But some nicer days will also be on the way. But gusty winds, that'll be the big story. We'll be out of the northwest today, reaching around 30 miles per hour at times. These are the peak wind gusts possible throughout the day. But look what happens. They'll gradually start to back off to around 20 miles per hour overnight tonight. Then a lot calmer as we head towards tomorrow morning. And the wave heights are definitely up at around 3 to 10 feet according to some of the buoys out there, though. That right there is why we do have small credit advisories along the coast until Friday morning. Our average high is 54 degrees. We'll reach for the middle 60s today, then falling to the lower 50s Friday. But warming back up into the upper 50s for Saturday. The lower 60s make a return Sunday. Then we're kind of up and down between the 50s and 60s for the next several days. So overall, temperature's pretty nice for this time of the year, especially when they're above that average high of 54 degrees. So moving forward, though, decreasing clouds today, giving way to a lot of sunshine during the afternoon with falling temperatures as well. Will be mostly clear later on tonight. Then by tomorrow, though, a nice way to start things off with a lot of sunshine for your Friday. Maybe a few passing clouds from time to time, but a few dry days on the way for the next few days at least. So your forecast for today, middle 60s, decreasing clouds and falling temperatures as well. High temperatures hit by around midday in the mid-60s and falling. The northwest wind getting up to around 30 miles per hour. Later on tonight, mostly clear, still breezy out there. Lows in the middle 30s. The northwest wind gusting up to around 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, a lot better. Lower 50s, so a little bit cooler, mostly sunny. Northwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your Shepherd Toyota extended forecast. Now, Halloween themed as well. We're pretty nice for the next several days. So talk about a treat, right? With a lot of sunshine Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s. However, on Halloween, that's when the trick kicks in. Rain chances on the way, temperatures in the upper 50s.
Jared Golden took money from an anti-lobstering group.
You know, the other day we're hauling and everybody was saying, so why did Jared Golden take this money?
Because he's a politician, and that's what politicians do.
He's funded by the very people that could put an end to our entire industry.
Shutting the lobster industry down would be devastating for the people of Maine.
If you cared about Maine and you were for the fishermen, you would have immediately give that money back. It was literally like a big kick in the nuts.
Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Wings, Wings, Wings is hiring, hiring, hiring.
Come work at Wings, Wings, Wings.
Wings is #1.
Wings does case management.
Bring hope to families by working at Wings, Wings, Wings.
I work at Wings.
I work at Wings.
Come work at Wings.
Wings, 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 ranked one of the best places to work in Maine for the last 5 years in a row.
The Biden agenda in Washington is hitting Mainers with historic inflation, and Janet Mills is making things worse. Under Biden and Mills, Mainers will pay 72% more on home heating oil. And with family budgets already stretched to the breaking point, Mills has stretched them even further, imposing a grocery tax that increases monthly bills by $60. Maine families simply can't afford Janet Mills. The top funder of Maine Families First is Thomas Klingenstein.
Scudic and Bloom, a full-service, custom-designed florist, Main Street in Winter Harbor.
We can deliver one-of-a-kind, full-color flower arrangements
by custom floral designer me, Pam.
Delivering to Ellsworth and surrounding areas for any occasion.
Please visit scudicandbloom.com or call 844-SCUDIC.
Fresh tissue cadaver.
Happy Halloween. You remember how this night is for cardio. A lot of jump scares, a lot of heart attacks.
No.
The countdown to Halloween is entering its final days, but are you prepared to keep you and your family safe?
Fox News' Steve Rappaport takes a look at what medical professionals say is one of the most critical dangers threatening you and your loved ones this spooky season.
As Halloween approaches, health officials say it's never too early to teach your kids about staying safe while trick-or-treating, with medical experts citing how cars, not candy, are the real dangers this spooky season.
Almost all the stories of poisoning or things like that or tampered with candy turn out either to be pranks or to be apocryphal, in the sense that when they're followed up by the police, they're not real. The few times there have been real instances of candy being laced with drugs or poison, it's almost always been family members. And the danger's coming from inside the house, not from other houses.
Instead, healthcare professionals warn pedestrian accidents are more common on Halloween than any other night of the year.
Lots of them are out when they would not usually be, and drivers aren't used to that. Secondly, it's often during rush hour when people are trying to get home from work, and so there's lots of cars on the road. Third, it gets dark often, and sometimes trick-or-treating occurs in the dark, and that makes it really hard for cars to be seen. In addition, kids sometimes run out onto the roads.
If you can, go trick-or-treating while it's still light outside. Officials also advise not putting children in dark-colored costumes or masks that can obstruct their vision. Never let kids go out unsupervised, provide them with flashlights or reflective gear, and take them around neighborhoods you're familiar with.
Happy Halloween to you.
Steve Rappaport, Fox News.
A lot of cool costumes in there.
Yeah.
Well, a new study finds that pretending to smile might put you in a better mood.
Nearly 4,000 people from 19 different countries participated in that study. Researchers from Stanford University divided the participants into 3 different groups. They asked them to do 3 different techniques to stimulate those smile muscles.
Half of the people in each group did the techniques while looking at blank screens. The other half were shown cheerful photos of kittens, flowers, and puppies. Researchers found that there was a significant increase in happiness among people who mimicked smiling images and those who didn't.
So basically, fake it till you make it kind of situation?
I don't agree.
Yeah.
I don't agree. I think toxic positivity is a real thing, and you got to acknowledge if you're bummed or sad.
Right.
And then you can be happier after you acknowledge, oh, I'm not feeling really good, and I'm not going to force it.
Right.
And sometimes, if you're in a bad day, I try to do this with you guys, my colleagues. If I'm in a bad mood, I'll say, hey, this happened. I'm kind of bummed about it. Nothing personal with you guys.
Yeah, it's okay. We all have days like that.
Right.
And I also believe if you think positive more, then
That
more
too,
positive things happen.
There's
So,
a balance.
I don't know. And eat donuts. That
Right.
helps too.
Have a donut. Have a good day.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
Veterans need a congressman who's got their backs. Jared Golden does. Jared's a veteran himself and worked with Republicans and Democrats to get the VA to build an inpatient facility in Maine to treat mental health and substance use disorders. Bruce Pollockman didn't have my back. Pollockman helped create a commission that wants to close VA facilities across Maine, forcing veterans to travel even further for VA care. Veterans can't trust Bruce Pollockman.
From start to finish, Ware Butler Building Supply will get you there. Ware Butler started in Maine as a lumber operation in the 1920s. Like most Mainers, Ware Butler adapted to the times and became a building supply company. Through good old Maine resolve and calloused hands, Ware Butler has grown with locations throughout Maine, including Lewiston, Auburn. If you're a contractor, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, let the folks at Ware Butler show you the benefits of small town service. Ware Butler Building Supply, Maine, from start to finish.
No matter what type of severe asthma you have, to Spire